Hello everyone, we've hit 10,000 subscribers, which is really cool. Thank you so much for that. And typical Corvus channel style, I thought I'd do a Q&A. Now we've hit another milestone, which is very cool. Quite a lot of questions with this one, so let's get into it. First question is, what other theme park YouTubers do you watch? In terms of vlogs and Planet Coaster stuff, I watch Digital Dan and Theme Park Worldwide, of course. Moomin Little Socks, Nerd Chacho, Yan. There's so many I can think of, but yeah, there's a lot. What is your favourite coaster type to build in Planet Coaster? Definitely launch coasters, probably mostly Intamin Blitzes, but I do quite like my Mack launchers and my Vekoma launchers as well, but yeah, definitely launch coasters, because they're just insane. What is your favourite theme to build in? At the moment, I'd probably say Adventure theme, just because of Voyager's Adventure. Like, I'm still being inspired of that park and the theme in general after I've built it. But my next two parks will be very, very different themes, so hopefully those will be my favourite themes by the end of those parks, but no spoilers yet. How do I get inspiration for parks and coasters? Mainly just by going to parks and riding coasters. As silly as that sounds, I go to parks all the time, ride coasters all the time, and every time I come back after a trip, even while I'm like, literally the second I could be sat on that brake run of that coaster, I'm like, wow, I need to build that in Planet Coaster. So yeah, that. But again, even just by watching loads of other creators inspire me, so I could be watching their videos and think, oh, I really want to build something like this. So all sorts of things inspire me. What are my current PC specs and what FPS do I normally get in Voyager's Adventure? My current PC specs I've just upgraded actually, so I've got a 4070 now, RTX 4070. I upgraded from a 3060. I have an i5 1200F, which I might be upgrading soon. 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM, and lots of storage for these videos. What sort of FPS do I get in Voyager's Adventure? I think the park ended at around 100,000 pieces, which is a lot. Hopefully the next park shouldn't run as bad as Voyager's Adventure did, although Dan's theme park did tell me to uninstall all my TMTK and load the park again, and that made it run much better, so thanks for the tip for that. I have my game locked at 60 so I don't get tearing when I record, but Voyager's Adventure I can normally get about 85 frames, like most of the time, but then my newer mini parks, which you'll see soon, much better frames in those. What is your favourite coaster model? Definitely the Intamin Blitz, easily. Just, they're so, you can do so much with them, the layouts can be so flexible, they can fit in literally any park, they're thrilling, they're all so unique from each other as well. How Intamin keeps creating all of these unique layouts is just insane. I love Intamin Blitz, definitely. If you could RMC one coaster, what would it be? Definitely Tonnerre de Zeus at Parc Asterix. That thing has the potential to be one of the best RMCs. The layout isn't actually that bad. The backward seat's fantastic, by the way, if you get to do it. But going forwards, I don't know whether it's, I don't think it's Gravity Group's new pre-cut track, and a good, more than half of it, I'd say, is still the old CCI track, so it is so rough. And those trains, they're almost like they don't fit the track, they're like shuffling around loads. If you RMC'd that ride, spruced up the layout with some nice hang time, inversions, all sorts, lots of airtime as well would be nice. That would be an insane coaster, so definitely Tonnerre de Zeus. Would I be ever willing to do tutorials on how I create some of my designs? Definitely. Tutorials is something that I really enjoy doing because I know it helps you a lot in your builds, so I definitely want to do more of those in the future. I've done a couple on like how to smooth coasters and make realistic coasters and drop tracks and stuff, but not many on like how to theme coasters or make a themed area or theme flat rides or just make a park in general. I feel like that tutorial could do with an upgrade. So definitely more tutorials coming in the future. I will do some, I promise. What is your favourite park besides Voyager's Adventure? Parks that are mine, Western Adventure and Avventura Italia were two of my probably personal favourites. But in terms of other creators, there is hundreds and hundreds, well thousands of parks out there that so many amazing creators have put so much effort into. Like to be part of Lost Kingdom by Flooded Tombs, to have a little area in that park was really, really nice. I think that's probably my favourite ever console park. In terms of PC parks, I don't know. I haven't really explored that many, but there's just so many amazing parks out there besides Voyager's Adventure. What is your favourite roller coaster that you've ever been on? Now, I said I will do a top 25 coasters at some point. probably right after Hyperia, because that will probably more than likely be in my top 10. But as it stands, my favourite current roller coaster that I've been on is between two. Can't decide. It's either Velocicoaster or Ride to Happiness. You'll have to wait until I've been on Hyperia and I do that top 25 video to find out my entire top 25 and most importantly my top 1 favourite coaster. If you could have a single park from another Planet Coaster YouTuber in real life, what would it be? I think I'm going to say Lost Kingdom again, because it's just a stunning park. Flooded did an incredible job. If you want to see a tour of that park, by the way, I have one on the channel. Little plug there for you. But yeah, incredible park. I could literally go on for hours naming other console and PC parks that I'd love to go to in real life. Pretty much most of them. So a good few hundred easily. Do I eventually plan on starting a Planet Zoo series? The short answer's no. I've seen people play the game, it looks nice, but it's just not really for me. I play Planet Coaster solely because of the coasters. I love creating coasters, and the theming is like an option. It's like an optional extra. I do really enjoy doing the theming, but I'm mainly there for the coasters, so I'll be sticking with Planet Coaster for the foreseeable future. If another game comes along, hopefully Planet Coaster 2, I feel like that'll probably be the only thing that'll take me away from it at this point. How many coasters have you ridden? Currently, depending on whether you agree with how cred counts work, I'm on 137, which will very soon be 138 after Hyperia, and then I will do my top 25, which 138 coasters is pretty good. Hopefully, many more in the future. In your opinion, what is the better ride, Swarm or Stealth? For me, Swarm, I absolutely love the launch on Stealth, but the theming and like immersion and longer ride of Swarm really make it for me. It's like perfectly intense throughout, and I've just found Wing Coasters really entertaining. And also, how did I find Mandrill Mayhem? I rode that about 2 weeks ago, which will be, I think, 3 weeks ago when this video comes out. People are saying it's really rough. I didn't find it rough. On the outside seats, I did find it a little bit bouncy. Much more enjoyable ride sitting on the back row facing backwards. But no, I enjoy the coaster, just wasn't blown away by it. How on earth are you so good at the game? It's incredible watching how amazing your creations are while also being entertaining. As far as being entertaining, that's definitely subjective. But how am I so good at the game? I mean, I don't think I am. I've been playing it pretty relentlessly since it launched. I have over 1,000 hours on the game on console, and I think about 700 on Steam for the PC version. So just by continually playing it relentlessly. I mean, this is what Voyager's Adventure is my 6th park, I think. And then I've got 2 other parks coming. Hopefully one of them will be this year, maybe both, it depends. But yeah, just by playing the game. I mean, I'm completely obsessed with all things coasters and theme parks, so I've fully immersed myself in that world, know all the technicalities about it, and I just do that for YouTube. So yeah, just lots and lots of practice and heavy immersion in the industry, I suppose. Most fun coaster to make in any coaster game? That's an interesting one. I would say probably again, launch coasters, Intamin Blitzes? Is that a plural? Intamin Blitz coasters, my personal most fun ones to make, but I know there's plenty out there. Like, I know a lot of people like doing really high coasters like Hypers or even Mack Extreme Spinners. If you've got a game that can do them, fantastic to do. But also it can kind of be fun to just do a coaster that you would know would outright never exist. Like, that would just, I don't know, go upside down 1,200 times or something stupid, or go over 500 miles an hour. Go for it, it'll be fun. Jan says, can we do another trip? Yes, please, I want more trips. We've done 2 already this year, 1 last year. We need another this year, hopefully another 2, maybe another 3. Loads more vlogs coming from those. Yeah, more park trips, please. Which roller coaster that you've built would you most like to ride in real life, and which one would you least like to ride? That is a hard question. Most like to ride would probably be the Vekoma launch coaster or the Mack Extreme spinning coaster that I did in Voyager's Adventure. Least like to ride? Let me think back. Probably most of the coasters from was it Dream World, my first park, because they were all pretty horrific. I don't know, I don't really make awful coasters. I normally try and play it quite safe, but actually no, I know exactly which one now. The family lift hill coaster that was maybe an Intamin, maybe a Gerstlauer Bob from Adventure Italia. I don't know why I built that coaster. If you've seen the episode, you know how horrific and boring the coaster is, so probably that one. Do I have any parks that haven't made YouTube? And if so, can we see them? That would actually make a really interesting video. I think you've just made yourself a video idea there. I might have to do that. That sounds like quite good fun. Theme parks, I don't think I've made any that haven't made YouTube because I've just done it as like series, but I have so many parks of just graveyards of coasters. Like probably hundreds of coasters just sat there, probably never going to see the light of day again until you've commented that, so I might have to do a video. I did actually start a park once, but I never completed it, so it's not like a full park, but that'll be a really interesting video. I'll get back to you on that. How much of a game changer was it switching to PC, and is it really worth it? For me, it was 100% worth it, just purely because of a content creation like route. Recording on Xbox I never found particularly easy, which you think it would because it runs Windows. But recording on PC and editing on PC, like the same device, I just find so much easier. Not having the Oswald counter as well, brilliant. Having mods to help me smooth and make coasters that you would not allow to normally make, like a Mac Extreme Spinner, again, brilliant. The Steam Workshop I find really helpful, especially for TMTK, even though I don't use tons of it. The little bits that you do have, very helpful. So I would have to say quite a bit of a game changer, but I feel like my potential increased when I moved to PC, which I know is not normally the case. Like if you look at quite a lot of mainstream console, Planet Coaster console YouTubers, they're doing just fine. They're building impeccable things. So it really doesn't matter what platform you're on, I think. As long as you put in the effort and the time to create an amazing creation, you can easily do it. But for me, switching to PC was definitely the right decision for me. But console was great too. What is the hardest challenge I've ever tackled in Planco? Probably completing a park. As you'll know with Voyager's Adventure, it's taken over 1.5 years to make. Most of that I wouldn't say is my fault, because I was starting the park around the time I had exams in uni, my finals even, and then I got a job, full-time job. So making a full park series as big as a park, well, you've seen how big it is, either while stressing over exams and coursework and having a full-time job, isn't easy. So I would say that's probably the biggest challenge I've tackled, and I'm still tackling because work is very busy. But yeah, you get over it. Park series take longer, but I'm okay with that now because I know that the longer a park series takes gets me the more quality out of a park series. But yeah, that would probably be my biggest challenge for Planet Coaster. It's just finding time to do it, because a lot of the stuff I do, like bigger park series, is very time consuming. If I couldn't use Planet Coaster for whatever reason, what game or software would you use for your videos instead? I think I'd just cry, to be honest. I absolutely love Planet Coaster. It's easily my favourite game of all time, so without it I don't know what I'd do. No Limits maybe, but theming on that is heavily restricted. Yeah. Probably that. I don't know what I'd do with that Planet Coaster, I'd be lost. My first major thrill coaster, I'll say, because I can't really remember my first, like, I don't know, coaster in general. My first major coaster was G-Force at Drayton Manor. I absolutely loved that thing. I know it was an unreliable mess, which is why they got rid of it, but I loved G-Force. It was a Mara X car, one of the first ones. It was just so quirky. It was my first ever inversion, like, because the lift hill goes upside down, so you get some mad hang time. I absolutely loved that coaster. Rode it quite a lot of times on a couple of visits I had, and then it closed, and I was very sad. But yeah, my first major coaster probably got me into coasters as well, that ride. Along with going on to America for the first time in 2013, getting all of the Disney and Universal stuff. Those are the rides that definitely got me into theme parks. Why haven't I been to Hansa Park? Because a while ago I told you that I wanted to go in the comments. I know, I really want to go. I still do want to go. It's such a long way away. Like Germany, we're planning a Germany trip at some point. Gonna do quite a few parks there, but Germany's just so big. There's just so many different parks that are like so many different reaches of the country, and yeah, I want to explore all the parks in Germany someday. Hansa Park, one of the most important ones. I will get to it someday, I promise. I just don't know when. How do you have fun doing custom supports? Very good question. I don't know. I just love them. I feel like once you've put the effort into smooth the coaster, if you put the further effort into painstakingly custom support the entire thing, I don't know, it's like you get some sort of more appreciation for the coaster. I don't know, it's just the like designer and kind of engineering side of me that I don't know, I love doing the custom supports. I find it fascinating just how they all work and getting inspiration for them and everything. I just love it, and it also helps to do something to motivate you to do it. When I custom support, I just listen to very loud drum and bass. That helps. If you were to ride a ride you have not been on yet, what would it be? I suppose this probably covers my most anticipated coasters, but if I was to pick a few, maybe, I don't know, Voltron, Batman, Gotham City Escape, Maverick, what's the other one that's near it? Steel Vengeance. There's a lot of coasters that I want to get on. Just all of them. What is your favourite park that you've ever built? Easily Voyager's Adventure. I've had such a fun time making it, even though it took so long, but it's by far my most realistic and well-themed park, and it has some of my favourite coasters I've ever made as well, so definitely Voyager's Adventure, but I hope to outdo it with the next two. What is the most important thing to remember when you're building a Planet Coaster? For me, I would say build for yourself. You should be building out of enjoyment for you and you alone, in my opinion. So just build what you like and build what you want to build. I'd say that was the best advice. I connect the most with creations when I'm building them because I enjoy them. Like, I'm not going to build something that I don't particularly enjoy, because what's the point? So like, I only really build what I like to build. So that would be my best advice for you. If it's not someone else's style, who cares? You build for you. How do you find motivation to make your parks? I just don't want to stop. I love creating parks in Planet Coaster, and that's my main motivation. I just keep coming up with ideas. Like I said earlier, whether that's from going to visit other parks, riding other coasters, or watching all the amazing stuff you guys keep creating, that's what keeps me motivated. It's just new things. I think, oh, I haven't made that before, or I really want to try this theme, so I end up making it in a park or a new coaster. So that's what keeps me constantly motivated, just the desire to create as much as possible. Will you be travelling to the US to Kings Island and Cedar Point this year? Not this year, although I do really want to get to both of those parks, because there's so many parks in the US in general that I just really want to get to. Hopefully I'll be going back to Orlando and doing all the parks there around Florida sometime in the next few years, but that's my main priority at the moment, just because of the density of the parks that's there. There's so many. But in terms of travelling to the rest of the US, I really don't know, but there's so many different parks I want to get to. In the US, I'd probably say especially Dollywood, Silver Dollar City and Cedar Point are like my top priorities that aren't in Orlando, but one day I'll get there. Is it possible to smooth coasters without mods, and if yes, what is the best way? Definitely. I've seen so many creators make smooth coasters that are either on PC and don't have mods, or on console. My main method, and what I'd probably say is the best way, is the 4-meter method. If you don't know that, I've made a tutorial on it, and I know quite a lot of other people have before, so I'd go and watch those. But the 4-meter method for me, I still use it now. Even though I use mods, I still use the 4-meter method, because for me it just works the best. So I definitely recommend that. How many save files do you have in Planet Coaster? I've just had a look. On Xbox I have 36, which I don't think is too bad for about, what is it, maybe a year and a half? No, about a year of playing the game on console. For PC, I only have 12, and I've been playing it on PC for about 2 years, which I think is pretty impressive. Most of those are parks. Very few of them are... Actually, no, there's not very few. Quite a few of them are parks. Most of them are coaster graveyards, shall I say, and then a couple of them are like parks where I do my challenge videos, so not too many, but it'll probably increase a lot more in the future. How do you find ideas for theming roller coasters and parks, etc.? It's kind of same with what I said last time, just going and experiencing parks in real life to get an understanding of their coasters and how the way the park works and is themed. And again, looking at what loads of other creators are doing really inspires me. But in terms of how I come up with the stories, Wonderworld came to me like quite a lot of other story ideas do, that I just fill in this big notebook whenever I get the ideas, normally through dreams. Weirdly enough, like I'll wake up and think, that'd be such a good idea for a coaster, or like a backstory for a ride, and I'll just wake up and jot it down, and that's normally what happens. you can imagine the crazy dreams that have occurred around Wonderworld. The Western Park, which is either the next park or the park afterwards, there's a story of that will be in a dark ride, nice tease, that came to me in a dream, and it was a pretty wild dream. I really can't wait to show you the story for that, because I've been working on it for quite a while. It's like a pretty immaculate story. I really like it. So yeah, that'll be really interesting, but quite a lot of the time they come to me in just very weird ways. Intamin or B&M? Intamin, easily. Intamin! They're just amazing. I love them. Much better than B&M for me personally, although I do absolutely adore B&M as well. They're just the two manufacturers that have the most influence on the theme park industry. I love them both so much, but for me, purely probably just because of the Intamin Blitz model, Intamin are my king currently. Although, will that be taken over by Mac when I ride Voltron and Hyperia? Who knows? How do you find balance between work and content creating? I don't. It's a struggle, don't get me wrong, it is very much a struggle. My work hours are 8:30 until 5, which I don't get home from until about 6 because it's quite a drive to the office. That's 5 days a week, so really I only have evenings, which is when I'm recording this video now, which I don't really get much time because I'm very tired, and then weekends, which I'm normally busy on, either visiting parks or doing stuff with friends. So the balance is not so much of a balance. I do Planet Coaster and content creating when I can. It's difficult, it can be a stretch sometimes, but when I see the reception of how Voyager's Adventure has been received, it makes it all worth it. So yeah, I'm going to keep on creating for as long as I can, because I love it. What is my favourite roller coaster and roller coaster model, and why? Intamin Blitz, again, I just love them, although the Ride to Happiness, like the Mac Extreme Spinners, are just perfect, like they're so good. And then the Mac Hyper, when I eventually ride Hyperia, I'm assuming I'll probably have a very fond love of that. And B&M Inverse as well, I really love B&M Inverse, like a lot. So definitely Intamin Blitz, but closely followed by quite a few others. What is the funniest thing that has ever happened to you or that I've seen at a park? Quite a lot. I've been to many different parks. A few fond and not so fond memories are the first time I rode Dueling Dragons. We're walking out of the station and some girl in front of me just projectile vomited everywhere. I found it quite funny. She didn't. Another one is when I rode G-Force, the one at Drayton Manor when I was a kid, and we got stuck on the lift hill. That was interesting, being upside down for what felt like a long period of time. Funniest thing, I don't know which one would be the actual funniest. The amount of times I've ridden the Smiler and stuff's flown out of people's pockets, because it tends to do that. Oh, when I was on Galactica once, a phone flew out of someone's pocket in front of me and hit the restraint, nearly hit me in the face. Or when we were at Wallaby, Belgium, a phone did actually hit Antonio in the face. Yeah, put your phones away on rides. It's annoying. If that happened to me and I caught it, I would genuinely throw your phone to the ground and stomp on it. You don't deserve it back. But yeah, so many funny things have happened to me in parks over the many years I've been going to them, and hopefully many more in the future. Any bucket list parks and coasters? Oh, so many, like literally hundreds. Bucket list parks: Cedar Point, Dollywood, Silver Dollar City, Part 1 in Madrid, Europa Park, Holiday Park, Tripsdrill, so many. Portaventura. I could literally go on forever. Fuji Island. In terms of coasters, Gotham City Escape, I think, is my #1 priority coaster, closely followed by Hyperia. But there's just so many others to get on. I really want to get on Steel Vengeance and Maverick, like I said, someday. Oh, there's just hundreds, literally hundreds. Would you rather have a theme park trip through the USA or through China? I think I'd immediately say USA, just because I know of more parks there. So like there's a lot of stuff that I'm really looking forward to get on in the future. Like there's hundreds of coasters that I really want to get on. Through China, I think would actually be really fun. Probably quite a bit more expensive, but I don't know a lot of the coasters out there. Like if you look on RCDB and look at the stuff that like Intamin and Mac and B&M have been doing, especially GCI as well in China, there's hundreds. So many amazing coasters, but the problem is I just don't know most of them. So I'd have to immediately say USA, but there's so many I want to do in China as well, so both. Right, serious question now. Best ride out of Troublesome Trucks, Octonauts, or Flying Fish? I don't actually have the Octonauts cred, which is weird. Past few times I've tried to get on it, it's gone down. Flying Fish, I understand the jokes, but it's okay. It's a bit jank, but Troublesome Trucks is actually quite good. I have fond memories of going on that as a kid, so Troublesome Trucks. What is your favourite coaster model and train? A little bit different to the last one. Again, favourite coaster model at Intamin Blitz. Favourite train? Probably the Intamin ones, but the Mack ones I'd say are just as comfortable, even maybe a little bit more comfortable. The Mack trains are brilliant. They're so, same as the Intamin ones really, like they're so freeing and you get loads of movement room. But I really like the older style B&M ones with the OTSRs. I don't like the vests, so a selection of those. What is your favourite coaster ever? Like I said last time, it's between Velocicoaster and Ride to Happiness, but you'll have to see when I do my top 25 video to see whether it is still either one of them two or Hyperia. Conda versus Ride to Happiness, choose. I rode both of them extensively on my trip, which you'll see the vlogs of very soon, if not whether you've seen them already. Ride to Happiness, easily. I love Conda so much, it's fantastic. A lot more forceful than last time I went on it, but Ride to Happiness for me is just near enough unmatched by any other coaster I've been on. It's fantastic, it's perfect, I just love the thing so much. What are my plans for the future? Currently I'm working in architecture. I studied architecture at uni and I'm working in the field now. Ideally, what I really want to do and that I'm actively working towards is to work at Merlin. I really want to work in the Merlin creative team. I just want to do what John Burton does. He's a fantastic guy. To have the privilege of working on even half the things that he has, that would be my ultimate dream job and is what I'm working towards very hardly. So I want to do that. I want his job. Wish list features for Planet Coaster 2. I could go on for hours. Literally so much I want from that game if it happens. So much. So much so that I am making a full dedicated video for what I want from Planet Coaster 2. I think I asked a while ago on the community tab what you guys wanted, so I'll try and put as many of those comments in the video as I can. But yes, Planet Coaster 2, there is so much I want from it, which you should hopefully see soon in a video. The best way I've found to get inspiration to build a theme park is to visit theme parks, whether that's real life ones or in Planet Coaster or watching people do vlogs. The amount of hours I spend watching theme park vlogs, just because I love it and to get inspiration as well, that is the best thing. Just experience the parks and you will undoubtedly get inspired. It always happens to me, so that's the best advice I can give. What do I think of Flamingo Land as a UK park? I've only ever been once and it was on a midweek visit. We did everything at least twice by 1 o'clock, so I'd say their operations are pretty good. The coaster lineup as well, pretty decent. I think getting sick was a great move for them, but in terms of the whole park, I think it does just need investment, just in terms of theming it up a bit more, kind of better presentation and removing Hero. But no, just in general, I really do like the park. It's got a really great collection of coasters. I'd just like to see some investment go into it, because I think with the right amount of money being spent on certain areas, it could be a very good park. But at the moment, I'd say it's a pretty good park. There's definitely a lot that's going for it. Like I said, a lot of great rides, and somewhere that I'd like to get back to quite soon, actually. What is the furthest I've travelled for coasters? Travelling west, it would be to Orlando and Florida, to all the coasters there. But travelling anywhere else within Europe would probably be Poland, I think. I like going to loads of different places to go on loads of different coasters, as you've probably seen because of the vlogs. But there's so many more places I want to get to, so that travelled further record for me personally will probably be beaten in the not so distant future, hopefully. How did I become a Thuzy and what got me into Planet Coaster? I think I kind of covered a little bit of this earlier, like just certain rides I think got me into being a Thuzy, like riding G-Force was my first thrill coaster, going to America when I was a kid, to Orlando and going on all the rides there. And then gradually I just started paying kind of more attention to the thrill rides, like going to Alton Towers from a kid like versus now. Yeah, I just kind of slowly started to pay more attention, realised that I really enjoyed them. And then with finding out about Planet Coaster, I used to watch videos like from Chacho and Moomin from quite a few years ago, even before it was released on console, and I was like, I really want to do this, but I don't have a PC, so I can't. And then it got released on console, and I pre-ordered that thing instantly. I was so excited. So yeah, definitely that. And do I think Planet Coaster 2 will happen, and if so, when do you expect it to release? Again, I will cover this in my Planet Coaster 2 speculation video that will hopefully come out relatively soon. It's a long video. Do I think it'll happen? In all honesty, I really don't know. I would love for it to happen, but there's been some bits of evidence that it will, some bits of evidence that it won't, so I really hope it does. And if it did happen, I think that it would release probably end of this year or next year. If it doesn't, then I don't think it's going to happen, just because of all the news around it, but I'll talk more about that in my Planet Coaster 2 speculation video. Iron Gwazi or Velocicoaster. Now, I have about 7 rides on Velocicoaster and only 1 on Iron Gwazi, and although I did love both of them lots and lots and lots, Velocicoaster still, for me, is the better coaster of the two. The better themed, arguably the better paced, but Iron Gwazi is still brilliant. I love them both, and I can't wait to get back on them both as well. What is your favourite video game? Definitely Planet Coaster. Yeah, easily. It's the one I've put the most of, actually no, yeah, it is the one I've put the most amount of hours into, but I was having a look the other day, very closely followed actually by Black Ops 3. I've put more hours into Black Ops 3 than any other game apart from Planet Coaster. I absolutely adore that game. It's my favourite ever COD, easily, which I know will probably annoy a lot of people. Very closely followed by Black Ops 1, I might add. I do like the classics as well. But yeah, I grew up with all the COD games and the Battlefield games. Love all those as well. But yeah, there's just too many to count. I love Minecraft a lot as well. I loved it as a kid. Yeah, but there's hundreds and hundreds of games that I absolutely adore, but Planet Coaster, #1. What do I think about Kanon? Looks amazing. I'd love to get on it someday. I know most of the spoilers already about what happens. I'm not going to say. But yeah, I would definitely love to get on this coaster. I think it looks insane. Gerstlauer makes some amazing rides. Some very experimental ones as well, which I think Kanon definitely was for them. So can't wait to get on that if I ever get to Hans Park. And the last question, would you ever consider installing the Invisible Station mod or creating custom stations? It's not something that I've overly bothered about, to be honest. I prefer to stick to the more official mods. It doesn't really seem like an officially recognised one, as far as I can tell. I've heard it's quite buggy. But I don't really have a problem with the stations in Planet Coaster. I know they're not perfect, all the right size most of the time, but they're okay. So I can make do with them, and plus I prefer kind of building with them as much as I go to custom support, like extreme extensive custom support, everything else. I've just never really been bothered about the station one, but could do it in the future, or hopefully Planet Coaster 2 will just have more flexible stations. And that's it for this Q&A. Thank you very much for watching. If you've got any more questions you'd like to ask or any follow-up questions, feel free to comment them below. I always reply to every single comment, so if you've got any, let me know down below. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much again for 10k. Can't believe it's actually happened. It's mad. So looking forward to the next park series, and then there's loads more vlogs out coming soon as well. A very special vlog coming out hopefully on Saturday or Sunday next week. So be very excited for that, because I am. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next time.